Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees. I'm down here at the pollen feeder, checking to see how well they're doing. They're starting to build up the population around the, not the population, but the traffic around the pollen feeder is increasing every few days. You know, it's a warm day today, so they're gathering pollen because of the freezes are pretty much killing the goldenrod, what's left of it. You can see these bees here, look at them, how they're coated in pollen. And what they do, and I've showed this before, where they come to the top of the hive and they will gather the pollen from their little hairs on their body and shove it down in their little sacks that they'll carry back to the hive and deposit in their hive. What I want to talk about today is bees in the hive versus bees foraging or out in the field. And a lot of people, when they see bees, and this pretty much goes for even, not all the time, but mostly even wasp and yellow jackets or any kind of wasp or bee. You know, these are bees, those are wasp, paper wasp. And usually 9 times out of 10, the wasp, even the wasp, won't sting you outside of their nest. And the honeybees will almost never sting you unless you trap them up against your skin or something like that. Like these bees here, you could do about anything you wanted to these bees. Here's an example, I'll show you. You could do this all day long. You can push them out of the way, and these bees will not sting you out here in the field when they're working, because they have nothing to protect. Keep that in mind, new beekeepers, or even people that doesn't have bees and they see bees in their yard. Do not fear them. There's absolutely no reason to have a fear in them, because the bees' mindset here is completely different than the bees' mindset there. Because when they're in their hive, they got something to protect. So yes, they will attack you if they are any kind of aggressive bee. I mean, my bees most of the time do not, but when they do, it's when they're in their hive, not out here foraging for pollen or nectar or anything like that out in the field. Out here, they got one thing on their mind, and that's to come get pollen, and they could care less that I'm standing here. I might be a nuisance to them, and they probably don't like it, but they're not going to attack me. Look at them. I can push them out of the way. And unless I catch one and grip it, they're not going to sting. So this message just kind of goes out to people, mostly that doesn't even have bees. If your neighbor has bees, and you may want to share this video to people that doesn't have bees, that may have a fear of them, to explain to them their mindset about bees in the field, collecting nectar, honey, pollen, whatever. Or not collecting honey, but collecting pollen, collecting nectar for honey, versus the ones that are in their hive. Now, if your same neighbors that's afraid of them goes in the hive, yes, they could be stung there. But that's one thing to explain to people. I think it's very important to explain to your neighbors. When your bees come over in their yard foraging on their flowers, let them know that they're completely safe. The only way that they're going to get stung is if they trap the bee up against them, step on it barefooted, or strike at it. If you ever strike at a bee, you can make it aggressive and mean. But usually, even out in the field, when you do that, they'll probably just fly away. But you don't want to strike at them for sure. But this is just a little tip from Barnyard Bees, something that may help beekeepers and non-beekeepers. It'll help beekeepers. It'll help explain it to their neighbors. Say, hey, you know, don't worry about my bees. They won't be aggressive. They won't sting you. They have a complete different mindset when they're out foraging. Let them know that and tell them, and it'll kind of take the fear away from them if they explain and learn a little bit about the bees. So, and it'll help maybe new beekeepers get an idea about how bees are in their hive versus out in the field. Just a little tip from Barnyard Bees. Thought I'd throw that out today. I was down here looking around the feeder, and I know some people, they'll be around their feeder and they'll be scared of them, but there's no need to, because they're a completely different mindset. So that's about it. Don't forget, folks, click on the little bell, like and subscribe, help share my videos. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.